from the input-output tutorial. We're going to actually see if we can change the presentation of our font, both in terms of color and whether or not it's capitalized or lowercase letters. So what I'm going to do is actually add, just up here, another line. I'll call it a message. So I'm going to go console.write, and my message is testing. Then we ask for the user for their name, we grab what they type, and we display what they've typed. So if I run it at the moment, press F5, testing, enter your name is on one line, and then we type Bob, and Bob appears. But it's a bit boring looking. So let's change the color of the font. I'm going to make each output, testing, enter your name, and whatever we type, a different color. So to do that, we need to change the foreground property of the console window. The foreground property is to do with the color of the text being displayed. So before the testing line, we're going to change font color by going console.foreground color equals console color dot red. Now just before the prompt, we're going to change font color again, console.foreground color equals console color dot cyan, kind of a blue-green looking color. And then for the output, we'll just put a line before we output the value in the variable, and we'll set it to yet another color. We'll change that one to yellow. Now when we run our code, we've got two different colors already, and a third one is output. Next we want to do is see if we can just cater for the fact that the user might not type their name quite the way we want it. Run the program to demonstrate what I mean. So type Bob, but this time I press enter a few times. I'm a little bit heavy-handed, and then I press enter. You'll notice that our cursor is now off to the side rather than right next to that final B. So what we can do to cater for the fact that we could be a bit heavy-handed is to type trim around console.readline, run the program again, type Bob, and a space bar a few times. But this time, those trailing spaces after the word Bob have been removed by the trim function. And you'll see that because the cursor is right next to the last letter in that name. The final thing we can do is control whether or not the input or the data stored in the variable is in uppercase or lowercase letters, regardless again of how the user typed it. So again in the same line, we're going to go name equals trim, remove those leading and trailing spaces, console.readline dot to lower. What this will do is change the input from any capital letters to ensure that they're all output as lowercase letters. So if you run it, we type Bob with a capital B, then lowercase OB, and it is output all in lowercase. If I now just go back and change to lower to upper, this time I'm going to type Bob all lowercase letters, and yet outputs all in capital letters.